Hello, everyone, new and returning. Welcome to Sonographers in the Cities. I'm Lynn.
I'm Giselle.
Thank you so much for tuning in, listening, or watching. We have reached over 7,000 downloads, and it is all because of you. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
thank
my
you,
God.
guys. Oh my gosh, I feel crazy. I can't believe we hit 7,000. I don't even I mean, it's so crazy because we were never expecting it to, be like that, and it's so cool. So thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you guys are enjoying it.
Yes, we love doing this. So I was waking up super early to record this episode. So I appreciate you, Giselle. And we have more contents to share with you.
Yeah,
So excited for you to hear what we have
yeah.
for you.
No no problem, no problem. I know it's like we are both so busy, so it's definitely hard to find time, but we do because we have fun doing this and we know you guys are having fun doing this. So I appreciate you for also making it work with me. And you guys know how busy our lives are, and we know how busy your guys' lives are. So it's really cool to know that we're coming together. I mean, people are still messaging me about the podcast and telling me that they're listening, even though you and I are so busy and we haven't really focused as much on it as we were before when we first started. But it's really awesome to know that people are still listening and even new people that I've never seen before. So that's exciting. So
Yes,
thank
it's super exciting. I also got those messages. I was like, oh, listen to yours and Giselle's podcast. It's been very helpful. And, the cool thing is that they just stumbled upon it on, the podcast platform. And it's just amazing. So thank you so much for tuning in.
yeah, I think it's funny too because I actually watched our old video together just to see what it was like, and it is crazy the quality. Before you were in your other apartment, and look how much you've grown since then. So if you guys haven't seen her original OG video, you guys should watch it. It's on my
Uh-huh.
channel.
Oh my gosh. And that's the best part about it, we're staying real. We're staying like just how like on the first episode, that's our purpose and that's our goal for this. And I'm just happy to see that's what we've been doing
Mhm.
and just, more improvements.
Yeah, it's actually crazy because we're almost to the end of May, and it's literally time is flying by. And doing this once a week actually makes time fly by even faster. You're almost going to graduate. You just finished your finals. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. How'd that go?
So I finished my finals. It was great. I don't have much classes this quarter. It's only very focused on clinicals because I have clinicals 3 days a week. Next quarter will be busier because I will have one, two, three, four clinicals plus four classes plus 2 days of clinicals. Excuse me. So and I'm learning abdomen and OB.
Wow.
So I'm done with vascular. I'm done with echo. It's been bittersweet. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I mean, that's really cool. Wait, so then when you go to clinicals, are you going to be doing admin OB?
no.
Oh,
Clinicals. I'm still doing echo.
okay.
I'm doing echo vascular.
But you just learn abdomen OB. That's
Yes.
cool.
The goal is that they teach you enough so that you can sit for the RDMS if you wanted to.
Nice. Then you can be a full body tech.
I can, but do I
Yeah.
want to?
I mean, you can get a lot of you can get a lot of work, and you can make contracts and you can make more money that way, kind of figure it out.
I can.
Yeah.
I
You'd be
can.
very
Let
diverse.
let me think about it.
Overachieving, but I'm just kidding. That's actually really cool. I did talk to recently a 14-year sonographer, and I posted postings because there are some openings out here in Las Vegas, and so I was trying to see if anyone was wanting to find a job out here, and I have openings for both general vascular, and so it's and then also echo, and it's I wanted to post it to see who was interested, and she messaged me and she said that she does echo vascular, but she also does general, so she's a full body tech. So she basically can, like, go either way, and I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." So look at all the opportunities she has, you know? And I don't know, maybe when you learn abdomen OB, you won't feel overwhelmed, but I know you will because it's a lot of stuff.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
But yeah, that's exciting, and I know you're gonna go on break and vacation, right?
I
So
mean,
we're
let's see, by the time this episode airs, I will be on vacation.
yeah, there you go. So, I mean, we're gonna be answering some Q questions. So it's a Q&A today. And typically for our new like setup, we're gonna do Q&As at least once a month. So this month, this is questions that people have turned in to my Instagram, and we'll also do the questions that have Lynn have been collecting to next month. So you guys stay tuned for these episodes because these episodes are the ones where we're answering your guys' questions. So
Yes, and the format is that we usually do it at the end of the month so that we can wrap everything up with all the contents that we have throughout the month, which what you said, doing this makes times fly because before I know it, it's the end of the month. Like 4 episodes, the month is gone.
yeah,
So
let's go.
let's do it.
Okay. So first question. Okay, so it says, how did you decide what specialty to go in? And then in parentheses it says your first specialty. So I'm assuming it's asking like um, perhaps like abdomen or OBGYN or something, but also like echo or general or vascular. Like,
I
so
think
you go either way.
the question is asking how do you choose a specialty to decipher the program? Because obviously we change our minds going
Right.
through the programs.
Okay. So like general, you
Mhm.
thought you were going into general, for example.
And then it changed last minute.
Yeah. So so we know your story, which if you guys haven't listened to before, but real quick, why did you go general? Obviously we know. I know why,
I
but
I went general. I chose general because of my dad, which is the reason why I'm in sonography program. Um, but then I just changed last minute.
no,
It was a gut feeling. It was a split second decision, and I haven't regretted since.
that's good. Yeah, we have a full on episode, you guys, on that to see how to choose your specialties, like how to choose between general echovascular. Um, and we kind of just touch upon them a little bit. So we have future episodes we can talk about each specialty individually and specifically, and also you can hear other sonographer insights. We have a bunch of those episodes featuring other sonographers who talk about, why they're in their specialty, what they're doing. And I always have said I've gone into general just because I kind of fell into it. So, and I love general. I don't think I could see myself doing echo, honestly. Um, but I wish I knew because I want to scan my heart. But I do general and vascular. So I really do enjoy it. I love it. And it's very it's both specialties, all of them, no matter what route you choose, you'll enjoy it, I think. And you always have opportunity to learn either a new one or another specialty. My first specialty board exam I took was abdomen, and I took vascular, and I took pediatrics. So now I'm just waiting to decide when I want to take OBGYN if I really want to, but I don't really care to right now.
But do you do them? Like you do
OBGYN?
them at the hospital,
Yeah.
right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the thing is, for some people, they think when they hear ultrasound, they're like, "Oh, so if I go into ultrasound and, like, I wanna specialize in abdomen and I wanna work in the hospital, do I only scan abdomen?" Like, no, you'll probably scan abdomen and OBGYN and probably vascular, depending on the departments, but you will scan more than what you think. And even all you need to do to become a registered diagnostic medical sonographer is become register, like, take 1 board exam in it can be any of them, like abdomen, OB, honestly, it can be breast, right? It could be, um, pediatrics, it could be vascular. I mean, vascular, you're gonna have RVT after your name, but all you have to do is take one of those board exams to be registered. and you can have multiple if you want, but there's people out there who have one registry and scan everything, you know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
confusing, but I have an episode on that too, if you guys wanna check it.
Yes,
Okay, next question. Should I take SPI after first physics class or wait till after second physics class? So I think
I've
this
gotten
one,
this question
yeah, this
way
one's
back
for
when.
you. You can answer.
Well, it depends on how your curriculum is set. My program has two physics class. If you just have one, then take it after your class. For my program, there was two parts. So the first part is, about the relationships of and the parameters of pulse wave, continuous wave. That's all I can remember. And then the second is more of like hemodynamics and Doppler,
Mhm.
which is a big part in the SBI. So for me, I just did a little research, like on the ARDMS website in the SBI that said certain percentages that we've talked about this in our SBI episode about what is in that exam, and then I can just like wage myself, see how much I know. I took it the week before finals of my second class so that I have all the information, um, and that I'm ready. I didn't want to take it after finals of my second class because, once I take finals, I'm done. I want to be done. Um, so I think that was like a sweet spot, like you're at the end of your second class, but you're not done yet, where all the information is fresh in your head. Um, so I would say for this question, yes, because I mean, you also have to know yourself. Like, do you want to risk not knowing what's one of the parts about it? Like the quality
Oh, quality assurance and stuff?
quality
Is
assurances.
that what you
This
learned, like, in the second?
that's why I learned my last week.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that wasn't as important because I only had one or two questions on the SBI for it. So I was like, okay, I'll risk it. I'll just look at the review books and see what the general gist of it and risk it.
Right.
So it's just purely up to you. Like if you want to know everything 100%, then you can take it after your second class. And if you feel very confident and knowing most of your stuff, it only takes what 555 to pass the SBIs. You can play that game
Mhm.
if you want. So you have to know yourself, and I would say generally, yes, wait after your second physics class.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that makes mo I think it makes sense because you finish everything and you learn everything. So, I mean, I guess it really depends on them and how they feel after their first physics class. I mean, because I'm assuming they haven't taken the SPI, so
Mhm,
it's like, how comfortable are you? And
exactly.
how comfortable will you be after the first one? And I mean, if they're
Mhm.
giving you that option, I would just wait so you can study more and get the whole view of everything. I mean,
Yeah.
me personally, I only had one physics class. So it was one semester from, you know, I don't know what one semester is like January to May, right? And you only go to class twice a week. And so I would not have been ready to take the test in that span of time because I know myself, and even knowing myself, I still didn't pass the first time, So knowing myself and knowing that that's what I went through, I would wait for until I was actually ready to take the test, right? So
Yeah, and, like, I have classmates who, one who took it right after the first physics class, and just because she wanted to know what the test is like, she knows herself who is she that she's, like, a poor test taker, she wanted to know what the exam is like to, like, the first trial, and she didn't pass, but she understand the format, how the test taking is, and the next time around after her second class, she passed. So
yeah,
and then I have other classmates who wait till everything is done, finals done, spend a week after finals to study for the SBI. So it's
yeah,
just on you how confident you are with the materials.
yeah. Good advice. So good luck.
Yes,
Physics is
best of
a
luck.
lot. Okay, next question. What type of job do you recommend for a new grad? Like full time, per diem slash PRN in a hospital or a clinic? Good question. Well, I mean,
Mm.
Lynn hasn't graduated yet, so
I haven't graduated, but every time I'm in a clinical site, I think about where I want to end up at the end. Because, I always have an end goal of what I'm working towards.
mhm.
And it changed. So it changes weekly, it changes daily.
I
Like
know.
last month, I want to take echo first. Now, this month, I want to take vascular first.
Yep.
So, um, honestly, it's up to you. I mean, per diem is most common for new grads
Mm,
because a lot of places they are hiring per diem and then they will take you on full time, eh,
yeah.
part time and then full time.
Mhm.
Some new grads take per diem because they want per diem specifically, and some have the opportunity to go full time. So it's depending on like where you want to work, what is available at that time that you're applying, and what your preferences are, because it's very hard to be black and white on this.
Right. I mean, I can give you my 2 cents after, my experience, and
Definitely.
I guess for you, you get to see outpatient and hospital, right? Like, you got that experience. Oh, no. For y'all who don't know, we've been having really bad Wi-Fi issues this morning. So, anyway, bear with us. Hello. Hello again.
We're back.
Okay. Alright. So, I was about to give you my 2 cents. This time I really tried to remember what I was we were talking about. Okay. So we were talking about my 2 cents. Actually, so what type of job do I recommend? Like, so since, obviously I was trying to say that Lynn has gotten to see both hospital setting and outpatient setting. Me, I didn't get to see outpatient setting at all because I was at the hospital the whole time. So I didn't get to see what a clinic was like and like for clinicals, right? But I did get a job with a small company and I worked at outpatient clinic slash doctor's offices. So luckily I did get to do that as my first job. So I had clinical setting for, clinicals. I had the hospitals. And then for my first job, it was a clinic. And that was also PRN slash per diem. So typically what happens is that when you are a new grad, you're trying to find out positions, right? Trying to see who even has an availability, who's open, who's willing to hire you. And that's why Lynn is saying it depends. It depends on what they're offering. It depends on where you decide to apply. I've seen students who get two offers. I see students who get a hospital offer and a clinic offer. And personally, like if you don't know or if you haven't tried both, or if you're kind of curious or you don't know either or one or the other, if you go to a hospital, you're probably going to see a lot more and do a lot more difficult patients, right? Because you're going to see a lot of different types of exams, people who may be ventilated, people who are in pain. And that's a different kind of busy versus an outpatient place where people usually walk in and they walk out and we've talked about this before as like a conveyor belt setting where you're gonna have to be fast. And so do you want that as a new grad? Do you want to work really like quick as a new grad? You know what I'm saying? So it really, like Lynn says, depends on how you are after you graduate. But for me personally, like I would recommend a hospital as a new grad and PRN or per diem instead of full time so you can kind of see what it's like and what you like. And because once you hit, unless you want benefits, right? Full time usually comes with benefits. So if you're already set, like, I want to do benefits, I want full time. If you're set with that, then obviously do that. But my recommendation would be like, do a PRN or per diem job, see if you like it. Some people even do PRN, work two jobs, work in a hospital, work in an outpatient setting, or work in two different hospitals. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually not bad when you're per diem. And most per diems actually have 2 jobs, because you're capable of having them. So I think like if you're a new grad and you're willing to be open, and, like, you get those job offers because obviously some people don't, but I've seen many of our students in the Discord who get multiple offers, and I've seen many people message me with this question, "Should I take this job or should I take this job?" And that's kinda cool, that's where you wanna be, right? Like, you wanna have those offers for you, and, like, that's, I think, what Lynn will have eventually. I think everyone's gonna want her to work for them. Let's hope, right? So, if you're in that his headspace and after graduating, like, I think that's how you should choose and decide what kind of area do you wanna be in, how much stuff do you wanna see. You will definitely see more weird things, I think, and abnormal things in a hospital. You'll probably learn way more in a hospital as well. But don't get me wrong, outpatient's great too. Some people just wanna do that and are happy with that. But I recommend, personally, a hospital, and that's me. And per diem, I recommend that too, unless you need full time. And you get paid more as a per diem.
You do?
Yeah. You
Oh,
typically get paid more. So, if y'all are curious, that's a thing.
interesting. I like the non-committed part
Mhm.
of per diem because you're able to be independent
Yeah.
and, take that and go with it. Because if you're in full time, you're there and you're it's your first job. And I don't want to, think of it negatively. Full time is great, and I do want full time, but you're there and you're there 5 days a week, 4 days a week, and what if you don't like it? You
Mhm.
know, I feel like per diem's a great option if you don't know what you want yet and just, like dip your toes in for a little bit. And then you can always quit and then find another per diem job that you really like and want to move forward to full time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually kinda crazy because I can only speak for Vegas, right? But there's only so many places you can work out here. And everyone knows everyone. It is small, so I'm assuming it would be the same exact way in other places. And when people, if I want to like go somewhere, I would probably know somebody who works there. And that's what it's going to be like. I think for you guys who live in like small cities like that. I mean, Vegas isn't a small city, but it's a small community. Ultrasound is small. So I can only imagine even smaller communities like and everyone probably a lot of people know each other because this field is it's about networking.
Mhm.
And I really like that about this. But if I was to want to go, you know, figure out another per diem job, I could just ask someone like, hey, do you guys have any openings over there? And if I really wanted to, I could work there. So it's kind of interesting. And I would rather be per diem. I'm only full time because one, I really wanted the benefits and 2, like, cause I needed the health insurance and stuff, because it's really expensive if you don't have benefits, like
Mhm.
and so it's really nice to have that, and 2, I was per diem for 4 years of my career, so I was working 2 jobs for 4 years straight, and I thought it was about time for me to just kinda settle into a full-time position and get those benefits, and I really do enjoy that right now. I've only been full-time for about almost a year, gonna be a year soon, and I really like it because I only have to work 3 12s, but not everyone has that, right? I don't wanna work 4 10s at all, and I don't wanna work 5 8s anymore, so it's either 3 12s for me or per diem, and, you know, it's after having all this experience, I can finally say that. But for you guys who are gonna be new grads, take all the opportunity that you can, I think. Learn all that you can. And you'll get that from both hospital or clinic, being full-time or per diem. Just get a job. Get that job? So I'm
A job
excited.
is a job,
Mhm.
it's a first step.
Yeah, especially for new grads, like, get that experience anywhere, any offer, but like I said, you guys are going into a field where there's a lot of opportunity, and I've seen so many of you guys that are in the Discord, so many even my, moderators and the admin, like, they're getting jobs right away, they're getting offers right away, so I know you guys can do it. Yay.
Definitely. That
Such
was well said.
such
That was well said.
positivity.
Mhm.
Next question, why did you choose to go back to school?
I think this is more for you. Like,
Yeah.
why did you choose to go to get your master's?
Master's, okay. Yeah, I mean, I decided that I wanted something new for myself. And I also want to eventually maybe move up into management, eventually maybe work at UNLV at the university. To teach at the university level, you need a master's. You need one degree that's above the degree you're teaching at. So if I can already work at an associate's program because I have a bachelor's, right? But if I want to work at a bachelor's program, I need to have a master's. So that's kind of why I chose to go back to school, and it just opens more doors, more opportunity. That's why.
And we discussed this in depth in our episode 6. So way back earlier to this
Wow.
podcast, this baby podcast.
Mhm.
That's where you'll find more in depth of Giselle's answers and why she chose to go back to school.
Yep, awesome. So go listen to that. And if you have any more questions about it or MBA stuff, DM me and we'll talk about it. It's fun so far. And then,
So far.
so far. We have one more question before we end this episode. It's a really big, heavy one. We'll go real quick about it, but we can go into an in-depth episode in the future for this. So, the things you wish you knew slash had prepared before starting the program. I mean, that's a loaded question.
That
I have
is a loaded question.
full YouTube video on that. So you can look at that full YouTube video. But, I want to ask Lynn just because now she's in the program. So what do you wish you knew? And what do you wish you had prepared?
Oh gosh. Like I went into this program, didn't really do much research, not much less, like I just said how I chose my specialty.
Mm-hmm.
Things I wish I knew. Ah, gosh. I didn't know much, I went in kind of, keeping my mind open, trying to observe everything. I just wanted to come out of this program the best sonographer that I can be. Like, I want to do my job well. I want to love my job. I want to have a great workplace environment with my future coworkers. With that said, I didn't really have much expectations. I had expectations for myself. I had expectations for the school. Like, I expected to be taught well. I expected to be taught um, so that I can become that best sonographer in my head. So the thing I wish I knew um, is to, even though I had that low expectations and low expectation for the program, yet high expectation for what I'm learning, I still got, like I think it was 2 episodes ago, I said that for clinicals, I had a kind of like reality check or like a culture shock because I was expecting to know so much, but then I don't. So the only thing that I wish I knew was that to kind of reel back in my, anxiety of becoming prepared for clinicals because you can't learn. I mean, I didn't know that school is supposed to teach you the bare minimum or the basics, and then that's where clinicals is where you learn. Because in my mind, clinicals was um, you learn everything in classroom and then you apply it to real life, not learning as you go in real life, you know. And I came to sonography with a non-medical background, so that was my thinking of clinicals.
Hmm.
So that was the one thing I wish I knew, just like mentally prepare myself for clinicals and preparing that I'm not. Please excuse this noise outside my window. I'm like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Kind of. Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds good.
they're marching.
Yeah, it sounds like a band.
Oh,
Like
yeah. There's a school.
New York. Welcome to New York, everyone. I love it.
Yes. Anyway, back to my thought. Things I wish I knew, just to kind of know that I'm gonna learn more in clinicals than I
Yeah.
do in class.
That's actually good. I think if you guys are wanting to touch up a little bit more on this, our next episode is going to be about clinicals and like our experiences in clinicals. So definitely take a listen to that, but we can go into more depth because that is what makes something, I wish I knew that too. Like, I wish I knew that I didn't need to know everything because that's how much I was freaking out before clinicals. And really, I think everyone feels the same way. You have anxiety, you want to do your best, you want to be good, you want to be prepared. for clinicals that, like, even this, it's like, how do you prepare for starting the program? Like, all you have to do is just be ready to start the program. I
Yes.
mean, you don't really need to prepare yourself for anything. They're gonna teach you, and obviously you can do the things where like, oh, read anatomy or like watch some anatomy videos, but you don't know to the extent of what they're gonna teach you, how they're gonna teach you. I mean, just kind of understand how you wanna learn because but even though you go into the program, maybe one way of learning and memorizing and understanding is gonna be different in the program than when you were doing prereqs or like undergrad or other schools, because this is something that is way different and you really can't prepare for the ultrasound program. Like you just take it as it is and just be ready to learn and
Yes.
study.
And from what you said, I think the only thing to prepare is to prepare your mindset. Program is not easy.
Yeah.
It's tough, and it's not, not really black and white as what you expect. If you learn anatomy, like human anatomy and physiology is a little bit different than anatomy for ultrasound.
Yeah. And it's also very different when you're actually in the clinical setting. So, you can know the anatomy front and back, but do you know how to find it on an ultrasound scan?
Yeah.
You know? So that's totally another thing, another story, but we hope
Yeah.
you guys enjoyed today's Q&A and we definitely loved answering your questions. So please stay tuned. Happy end of May and we'll see you guys in June.
Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you can take some takeaways from this episode and our other episodes, and we'll talk to you and see you next month. I was like doing
Yes, next month. Bye guys. Good luck with
bye.
everything.
Happy May.
Bye.